Thank you for watching this series on scrap journal sketches. I created these sketches from the ground up, and I hope they're useful for both scrapbooking and journaling. Welcome back, scrapbook friends. It's time for another sketch. Today's sketch calls for a 1.5-inch band with a decorative border and 2 4.5-inch circles here and here. And then I'm going to cut this variety mat card down to give me 2 3-inch by 4-inch mats to go on top of that. So let's get started. First of all, we will choose the smallest circle from the custom cutting circle collection because it will give us a 4.5-inch circle when we use our blue blade. We put our washi tape in the center because we're going to cut around the outside, and that just keeps our template from shifting and moving. Sometimes I like to go around to make sure that I won't cut off the edge of my paper. And now I'm cutting a 4.5-inch circle. And I want 2 of them. So I'll put the template down again and cut the second one. And here's the start. This is a 4x6 variety mat card. I'm going to cut it in half and make it a 3x4. I like this orange color. I think it goes well with the other papers for today. But because I'm not crazy about this pattern design for journaling, I'm going to use this tangerine cardstock to be my journal spot. And I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4 inch wide and 3 3/4 inch tall. And put it on here as a journal spot for these 2 mats. Now I'm being relatively monochromatic here with the oranges and the yellows here on this layout because it just helps make things faster when I don't have to try to coordinate a lot of different colors. Now I could come over and stick with this theme and this design to make the 1.5-inch strip. But I think this is going to be the paper. This orange matches nicely. I like the yellows and I like the touch of beige in there too. So we're going to cut this at 1.5 by 10. One and a half inches by 10 inches. And so I'm just going to cut 2 inches off, and that should give me our 10 inches. And here we quickly have the basis of the layout, but we want to put something pretty down here. Let's see what we can find. So now we'll use our cyclic circle border maker cartridge. We can also use these pretty circles to decorate our page. So I'm going to save them. We just might use them. This paper is from an old secret box. I can't remember which one it was. But right now I'm going to save the circles. And I'm going to trim the border off at 1 1/8 of an inch. 1 1/8 of an inch. Remember, our paper is at 1 1/2 of an inch. And that's looking lovely. We may or may not back our circles. This is a journal, so we may or may not back it. And then think about adding some small circles around just because they're cute. So let's cut our border at 10 inches. And now we are ready to put our layout into our journal. We boarded the ship smoothly and embarked well before noon. The ship was scheduled to leave shortly after 6 p.m. However, it was announced that due to weather conditions, we would stay in port overnight and leave in the morning. While we were free to leave the ship, we stayed aboard. Then they announced we were going to miss our first port of call because of our late departure. I am trying to put this design as straight as possible on my page. Uh, I don't want my designs going this way, even though I guess having one this way and one that way is kind of cute. So I think I'll do that. This doesn't look totally straight now. And I'm going to put this edge on this side on the bottom, this side on the top, just for a little bit of interest. The sketch calls for a decorative element right here, so I'm going to use the punch out from our border over here to be that decorative element. And that worked out great. I have to say, I'm pleased with the page. I'm going to have fun writing on it. Hubby and I shared driving, alternating when we took rest breaks. We had no traffic problems and good weather all the way back home. There was a tropical storm while we were away, and when we got home, there was no TV or internet service. Again! If these videos have been helpful to you, please leave a comment to let me know you would like to continue to see more of them. And thank you so very much for watching.